Good day, everybody, and welcome. Happy to bring you another day of building here in the Commonwealth. This is, of course, your host, RP. And we are continuing our construction here at Nordhagen Beach. Barbarian, Groucho, good to see you both. Hope I'm not interfering with your work schedule, Mr. Snark. Of course, I know you're capable of multitasking, so I doubt that I'm interfering at all. Yes, I recalled correctly. I forgot to put interior walls dividing these rooms. Which, of course, would never fly. Let's make sure that we're a little bit crooked. We can fix that. Small room, big room, and biggest room. This one needs some closing off here. Mermelnir, welcome aboard. Happy to see you today. Yeah, I popped in John's stream last night and said howdy to him. He's far better tanker than I am. But we can always hope to get better. Which of course means that I'm not likely to get much better, but I think my days of quickly reacting to things in a video game are over. And unfortunately, that is one of those games that requires quick reaction time to excel at it. Not to make excuses, because Lord knows I choose to play the game, and if I'm choosing to play it, it's up to me to get better at it. Or accept my weaknesses. I think I have to turn surface snap off to get this to go in without that. Looks about right. Okay, now the rooms are separated. I can go about the other businesses of the day, starting with housing for our new workshops over here. We haven't assigned anybody for the armor or the gun shop, but they got these nice stalls over here, so now they need some place to live. And I'm thinking that up here would not be a great place because this is right on the road where they'd get shot at if somebody came up the road raiding. But right about here is a good spot for a couple of little homes. It's outside of the farmstead. Yeah, I definitely feel like this is a good spot for it. And then, of course, we're going to need to assign somebody to live in the luxury digs here. Nice little beach bungalow. Yes, I still like saying the word, so I said it again. And when our fishmonger eventually gets assigned, he'll have his own room right off his store. Because nobody's going to be assaulting from the water. At least, nobody should be. So now we just got to come up with some little shack designs for our shopkeepers over here. And I was thinking that this side of the structure, because on that side we have an elevated guard post, and it can see right up to about, oh, let me turn off the build mode. From that guard post, they can see up the road to about here, but then this is all in a blind spot. But you couldn't approach that blind spot without being seen from over here. This road, however, lets you approach that blind spot. So I'm thinking that I'm going to build 2 or 3 stories over here, where we can put an elevated guard post on the top floor. And I know there's a few people who like to build upwards, and I normally don't build very tall structures, except for my guard posts. So having like a little 2-story house and then a 3rd floor being a guard post makes a lot of sense to me. So I think that's where we're going to go with this. And that'll give you a good view down this road and cover all of the area that that other guard post can't logically see from a distance, including all the way up the beach. Soul Dweller, good to see you. And Slacker, wow, you guys are just sliding on in. Hey, Brookie. We'll move this out of the way for now. I think I want to leave this hedge here. I think I'm going to leave this hedge here until I know that it's in the way. Although, that means my wall can't logically be any further forward than here, so keep that in mind. Oop. Definitely have to get more used to the idea of moving the pieces, not the character. Okay. It's more comfortable to move the character because it responds slower than the pieces. But if I'm always Radstorm, There we go. If we're always moving the pieces, we get more used to it, right? Except for my clumsy hands don't tend to work this controller very well. I think I can deal with a little bit of weed coming up through the floor in that one spot. Not really straight, though. I want to try and straighten this out so there's a little walkway between the house and the hedge. Just a little bit of one. Still not even close to straight. Well, it looks straight from this side. I'll go with that as straight. It's not straight on the border, is it? Mostly. Murmelnir, that's a very good piece of advice. Should always add more guns. Now, I know I'm going to need to be adding a staircase up into the building. I'm not sure how tall I want the, or how large I want the first floor. I know I want it to get a little smaller as it gets to the top. So I'm thinking maybe the first floor occupies part of this, but there's an exterior stairwell getting to the second and then up to the third floor. So if that's there, that'll give us the corner of the house. And then we can build up a exterior stairwell on this side. It'll have to go up, so I'll need to have a second floor. Okay, I'm going to fall off this thing repeatedly, so I should just go ahead and put some stairs on it. At least for now, have an easy way up instead of jumping all the time. And I just figured out this is not going to work the way I would like it to because of my dependence on gonna need to use barns. And the barn won't snap to this foundation, will it? Oh, well, I was just in the wrong spot. Okay. See what I can... Probably go right ahead and move that now, because I am not going to be able to continue once the first floor is made. But the idea... Do the wooden stairs snap to those? Because I like the wooden ones better. They do. But they don't reach the floor. That's not as wide, so it has to be that one if I want to try and make it match. I can do that on this floor because it's very well hidden. Not going to be able to do that on the second floor going to the third. Burn that bridge when we come to it. Maybe the third floor we build with, no? If we build with the ones... We'll figure it out. Let's continue building this one. Okay, these people probably don't get a whole lot of private space, so let's... try and be reasonable with their... and hid. This would be like a little seating area for him that I can walk right off of by mistake. So he'd need a door right there. And that's his little shack with his big deck. Ranger, good to see you, sir. I planned ahead and have a whole cup of coffee here with me. I know, shocking, I planned ahead. So if I do that... Okay, the only way for me to put that on there, the way I want it to be, I think I have to turn object snapping off. And then turn surface snapping off. I want to build this like right into the end of this wall, this floor. See what I mean about the controller being a difficult thing for me to work with? Help if I turn snapping back on. See that? Luckily, there's going to be a second floor there. And if I'm correct about my placement, those shouldn't interfere with me putting a wall there. So let's see how badly I've misjudged things. I don't think the guy who built the second floor had... I'm out of steel. Almost out of wood. I don't think the guy who built the second floor had complete access to the same materials as the first guy. It'll also make it junky a little bit. More junky, I guess, is the term I'm thinking of. To mix and match a little bit. I might substitute the warehouse pieces, though, up in that first floor beach-facing wall. Let's get us some wood and you know what? I'm not running out again today. Oh, I'm carrying too much and can't move. There we go. Right now, I just want to see that whether or not I can snap to the... I can, can't I? I can. Alright, so... I could replace this wall, this facing wall here, with some warehouse pieces. I think those might look better. So let's do that. We'll put this one here. And then the greenhouse door. And up on the second floor, exactly what I was thinking. The bottom of that wall is facing the out nicely, facing the roof in such a way that it covers the place where it actually meets up very nicely there, doesn't it? And yes, before I fall through, I'd better put a floor here. This guy is also ending up necessarily with a small place. And we're going to give him some wooden pieces as well. So far, so good, right? There's Rob falling off things again. At least I didn't walk right off the end of the ladder, as I suspected I might. Come on. Really? Alright. I know I'm going to need another one of these anyway. Wow, it is just fighting the heck out of me on this. There we go. Come on. Alright. Solution number 2. Put that there. It still wants to snap like right through it. Okay. Much better now. This guy doesn't have his own balcony. And we have a guard post that we're going to end up putting up here, which will clearly control the area far better than the original guard post. Yes, I like that a lot. Now, how to put the roof up here? Thinking if I put a wall, random wall A, now I can put posts supporting that roof. Turn the object snap off. Getting dark here in the Commonwealth, so I will be shutting the player eyes in a minute. Don't go through... I originally put you there because I wanted you to be level. There we go. And you need to move sideways too. That works better. Let's go get some sleep until first thing in the morning. Uh, 10 hours should get sunlight. Oh, girl, good to see you. County Crossing would be an excellent place to build if you're looking to build a military base. I agree, Vault Girl. The not just the National Guard training yard, but the the entire area is actually quite littered with some extra military vehicles, I've noticed. Makes it a very good spot to contend as a military base, in my humble opinion. Probably put one more right there at the corner where the stairs come in, shouldn't I? Good amount of support. These should probably suffice to give the illusion of support anyway. Sorry about that, guys. Mrs. Games was just telling me that she was heading out the door. Whoa! think that's a reasonable amount of support. What is that snapping to? I think I need another support right there. Right below this support. Okay, those are all textures, but I want something that looks a little different. Found materials. I know I need to support that roof. So let's take care of that. Only need 3. And I said I want to support this. And I'll be moving that up underneath there. Okay. Mark Jackson! How's it going, not my nephew? Tell you, I really appreciate the struggle that Sarg goes through doing this without mods. I don't think it's a necessary struggle, in my opinion. He's putting himself out there, and yeah, I don't think that there's anything wrong with it. But oh my lord, I don't know as I could build what I see in my head. Following his example. Not quite in line. Because to me that's the test of the design is whether or not it matches what I see in my head. And when I imagined this little house, two-story house with a guard tower on top, this is getting close to what I imagined. I don't think it would be impossible to build with the Sardeliac methodology of building with the pillar and fire. And am I holding that? Yes, I am. But I'm not that talented with it. The pillar and fire, that is. Why won't you move down? Press and hold, press and hold. Won't go down. Oh! That's better. I'm not that talented with the fire and pillar and the ashtray. I tried to do that stuff for a long time in the PlayStation, because, as Sar says, in some platforms you don't get all the mods that let you do anything you want. And you have to kind of improvise. But now my imagination is the major limiting factor. And I have to admit that Place Everywhere makes my imagination work really well. It gives me the ability to see this conglomeration in my head and actually put it on the beach. I don't think I'd be able to do that with I'd probably be able to do some of it, but I have all snapping turned off, don't I? I am imagining that this gentleman probably built his porch all in one shot. With what he had on hand. So they all, it fairly matches. You know, he built it all to the same idea, but he started running out of wood and had to go slightly different. And the front porch, that was built by a group of people who did the best they could with what they had. Now to test the true limits of pathing. Eventually I'm going to have to put a guard up here. Or just walk right off the edge, yeah. And I'm thinking, if I have 2 guard stations up here, I have 1 over there. The first guard I assign is going to patrol between them. See how far over the edge that is. Can I put a railing on that? I can. So yeah, I was thinking... Oh, thank you, Shadowzar. How you doing today, Russ? I'm thinking that having the 1 guard doing some kind of patrolling up here would actually be kind of nice. So he's going to come over here, he'll stand for a while, then maybe he'll go over here and stand for a while, but then he's going to go down to the front. Eventually, if I assign 2 guards, and I assign the second one to the front, I don't know. I'm thinking, spitballing out loud, thinking maybe it's going to be working out in my favor to have the patrolling guards. See, that's only this 3 pieces. I don't think that ends up looking as good as the picket fence does underneath. An outhouse on a cliff, Mark? Let's see how square I just put that. That actually looks fairly square. Can't complain about that much. Not that anybody would listen. But yeah. That's going to stick out a little bit further than I'd prefer. But maybe I can put... I know what I can do. Because he has spare time of his own. He's going to set up a little garden. Of course, a gate is going to leave that. Kind of stupid looking. Now we can have a little garden in here. And the under house looks fine from this side. Did I get that straight? I did not. That looks a lot straighter now. And there we have that's done up. You have 3 ways up into the first floor. I'm pretty sure they'll figure out some kind of pathing. Or 2 ways up into the first floor. Just the one staircase up here, but I really feel like that's not going to be a pathing issue either. And then he has great views. But upstairs we'll have our guard position. Now to provide a little bit of added security here. Hi, Jet. How you doing, buddy? No, stop snapping. That's where one of the turrets is going to go. Maybe I should shift this over and put the other one. No, I think I'm going to put the other one on the outside here. appears to be missing the fencing mostly. Oh, thank you, Russ. I appreciate that. Catch up a little bit with chat here. You think that the foundation looks a little bit better? I kind of like having it blocked off so I don't have to put any knickknacks underneath. Because I feel like if it was open, people would throw things underneath. And it's been my experience at beach houses that are on piers that people store things underneath to keep it out of the main bit of weather. Jet, we're happy to have you here. I think that's definitely a security tower now. Nice seeing you, Mark. Jet, exactly. Where I grew up, there were a couple of seaside communities where, you know, the police and firemen would all buy little bungalows on the beach, and they were all up on piers. And some of them were very good at keeping the area clean, but others would literally, during the off-season, their barbecue grill would be underneath there, and all of their lawn furniture that they weren't using would be underneath there, and invariably trash would end up under there waiting for the once weekly or once monthly, in one community's case, trash removal service, because they weren't allowed to stack trash around the main dumpster unless it was 2 days before the trash removal. So you saw a lot of that in those conditions, and I really feel like the houses that didn't have it all had something decorative blocking off the piers. So your mileage may vary, but it actually works quite well, in my opinion. And you know, the fact that this one stuck out just gave me the idea to put the garden here. Let's give our peeps here some furnishings. I think this gentleman is a little utilitarian in his living space because he has so much outdoor space. See him rescuing some kitchen goods from nearby. Of course, it would have to fit in the place. He does his cooking inside and his eating outside. Christian, good seeing you, sir. Can I sit? No. Is it because I put the table too close? Let's move the table completely. Okay, so the table cannot be in the forward arc of the seat. So if I move that like that, I should be able to move the table back relatively close and still sit. Yes, I can. I think what I'm looking for now is in decorations. I want to give him a barbecue. No, it's not in miscellaneous. It's in clutter? No, that's machines, themes. Thank you, Dweller. I try to learn from you guys, because you really do pick up something from everywhere, and it makes your builds so much better. Is it in themes? Sure is. He has a place where he can barbecue out if he doesn't feel like cooking indoors. He has a place where he can cook inside. He needs a refrigerator. Or something I can refer to as a refrigerator. Refrigerator might be too big for this area. Please don't be sticking out the wall. You are not. Okay, he's got himself a place to store food, a place to make food, a place to sit and enjoy some food. Give him some chairs for guests. Nothing too fancy, though, because he gets the comfy chair, not the guests. Nice little area for people to sit and relax. Place for him to go at the end of the night. And he kicks his friends off the beach. Don't know what I'm going to do with that. Probably put some toolboxes over here. And this guy, unfortunately, lives downstairs from the turret, so he kind of has to put up with the sounds. But I imagine the sound of the turret is the sound of security. So it's possible that that is more comforting than it would otherwise appear. He's not going to want his head sticking out a hole, though, because that's going to be a potential source of rain. It's getting late. Not like these windows are actually going to keep any rain off of them anyway, but why give yourself more opportunity for rain than you need to? Trying to figure where I want to put the electrical on this house. I'm thinking I'm going to want to run it up on the exterior wall right up here. Now, he probably doesn't have as much enjoyable space to prepare food. And eat as his buddy downstairs does. That doesn't mean he doesn't want to have a place to sit and enjoy a meal that he cooked himself. I wonder if I can sit in that chair. I can. I think that even if somebody is building well beyond your ability, you're going to pick up little things here and there from that person. He has himself a little homemade hot plate that he cooks on. Sits and eats at the same location. Rob's personal favorite light. If I can run that power up the outside, basically run right up the center. Then if I want to light up in the guard post, it'll be close enough. So I'm going to want one of these about at second floor level, and then again at third floor level. Now I can put one of these in the ground. Turn the ground off a little bit. And now I can run from the generator right over to it. Now, if I run straight from the generator, however, I am going to run into the problem of it coming out at a huge angle and into the ground. So what I'll do is I'll stick a conduit underneath the generator. Like so. And I can no longer reach that conduit because I am a buffoon. Let's see if it sees it when I try and connect to it. It sort of sees it. So let's Nope, it is not even pretending to see it when I'm trying to fake it. And now I've got sparks underneath my truck. Because I am a fool and an imbecile. But the sparks actually kind of... I don't know. I didn't save recently, so I'm kind of stuck with the sparks. Oh, there we go. Got rid of them without intending to. So... Plan B. We'll put a conduit on the ground down here. We will connect. No. We will sort of connect. That's good. Now we can connect over to this one. It should remain underground the entire trip. Looky, looky. It works. This gentleman probably has room for better lights. He earns a lot more caps at his business, I am supposing. I'm going to guess that he's the guns and ammo guy. That gives them some light up here. I'm going to give him a dresser. Containers? It is containers. Because just because he doesn't have all the caps doesn't mean he's not industrious enough to go to one of those houses and get himself some place to store his clothes. This guy needs a nightstand. And he too has a light on his bedside table. And it's going to be Rob's favorite light again. Is it close enough to light up? It is not, so I'm going to need to put a conduit underneath here. Let's put this one right here. And now he has light here. And I think that he's the kind of guy who wants to have some light out on his porch. He's probably entertaining friends as often as he can. And yes, I do like having the story in my head as I build. Because it helps it all make sense to me as I build it. He doesn't have an outside light for entertaining, because he doesn't really have a patio. But he should have a light for the stairs. These guys have their light going. And now we have a little tale about our shopkeepers and how they spend their time when they're not working. And we still have room for a couple of little beach shacks right down here on the water. Guarantee that if I pick this whole thing up, that conduit goes with it. That's my mistake. I should have saw that coming a mile away. Easy! Good to see you, sir. Yeah, I haven't actually been feeling well the last few days. The other day I just couldn't even get the incentive to go eat. And I knew I should be eating, so I did, I had a bowl of soup so that I wouldn't be unwell, but I don't know if it's not, I don't have the cough or the flu or a stomach bug. I just wasn't feeling well. It's been a few days like that, so I hope you're not doing bad. Nice rainstorm. What time of day is it? 1:34. Let's take a seat and see if the rain goes away in 2 hours. If not, I'm perfectly willing to go sleep until the next day and hope for sunny weather there. There's a sunny morning for you. Okay. I want some plants. Some living plants. Because I think this guy is taking good care of his garden. He needs some very pretty roses. Doesn't need a tree that size. Whoa. None of these are small, huh? Stepped out of the bounds. So he's got himself a little sapling. Some nice plants growing. Let's get those just a little lower so the pot's not so visible. There we go. Got some nice flowers out front. Nice little place to call his own. I think there's a spare shovel here. Yes, there is. So I can decorate over there. I don't think he has a hoe, though. I don't think there's a hoe over here. Ah. What's that? That's just the wires. Yeah, there's not a hose sitting around, but if I'm not mistaken, they only pull a hoe out when they're gardening. So let's, put a shovel up near the, entrance to his garden. Actually, if I place that just right, then get out of it. And of course it falls the opposite way I want it to. There we go. Decorating cannot always be easy. So, I think it looks good. We have some security and some housing all in one nice package. And of course whoever ends up being assigned as guards doesn't have a home yet. Because there's no being I'm already decorating, I'm going to come up in here and decorate the hotel. Otto! I love that people still tell their kids bedtime stories. Gives me a little bit of faith in the world. I don't think that these folks are living in or renting terrible little rooms. But they're smallish rooms. I still have no idea where the power is going to be on this building. But it will be powered. Now this one's a much nicer room. And I feel like here in the wasteland, this is one of those times where you would have your sheets would be valuable to you. Yes. So, you're not going to just leave the sheets on the bed in the hotel. You're going to make the bed when somebody rents the room. Or give them the sheets to make the bed with. Because, let's get real. Is our bartender really going to come upstairs and make the bed every time he rents the room out to somebody? I don't think so. Oop. We have a fall hazard. That's better. Now they can have a little table over here because they're paying for extra niceness. Elena, happy Saturday. Good to see you, sweetie. Hope your Saturday is going very well. I do think that they did the best they could in this place with the furnishings. But they did pick them up from other places. Couple hours, see if the rain goes. Couple more hours. Not even a little bit of rain relief. Okay. And of course, this is the nicest room. That I forgot to put a roof on? I could have sworn we put a roof on here. Is it just me, or is there something? Am I losing my mind? Okay, it doesn't like that roof at all, so let's just go to this one. Another nice big room for people who paid the caps to have a nice place to stay. Ooh, bolognese. That sounds wonderful. Ah, there's the sun coming through now. Yes, they have a spot where they can either sit and look out, or they can turn their chairs and eat at the table. Gonna need a nice bed. And I think we decided, because this one has got more balconies, this is the actual nicest room in the place. So they're going to get the best nightstands that we could scavenge in the wasteland. Of course, we might not be able to scavenge matching nightstands, but we can scavenge nice looking ones. Is that bed far enough back? Not really. There we go. And now they're going to need a nice dresser. Hawk, good to see you, sir. Let's get some nice lighting in here. So they have that for lighting. And perhaps my favorite light on the tabletop over here. We know that my favorite light's going to go in all the rooms. Wow, that dresser doesn't really exist as far as this is concerned. It's amazing what pieces do and don't exist in game terms. And I think that they get a floor lamp as well. Now this side's going to be kind of dark without a lamp over here. We're going to want to have a light in the hallway and near this knick-knack table. And probably something on this side as well. Each of the rooms is fairly well appointed. Even the 5-cap room is working pretty well. Get some lighting for our bar. Is that actually attached? It is, okay. It is not. That's better. And between that and the candles, we should have decent lighting. It is starting to get dark, which is actually a good thing at this point because it'll help me set up the lighting at our wonderful seaside establishment. And because I know I will wander off into nowhere if I don't, I'm going to put some floor pieces so it's easier to get over here. Okay, so we want to get some power. Right up to here. Let's turn the surface snap back on. And that will let me bring power up to here as well. Know that these two will hook together. Will this one go to this without glitching it? It should. There we go. Now that is too far to go. So that brings power. I know it's not going to bring it to the first floor. It did bring it to the first floor. Wow. I didn't think the power radiated that far, guys. That one's working. That one's working. And that one's working. That surprised me. I really didn't think it would radiate that far. How bright are these? Not very. I want dim. Okay, we are well lit. I don't know if I want to use this fluorescent light. It won't sit there the way I would like it to, I don't think. Well, how's that look? It gives enough light, it's lighting the stairs. It doesn't look like it's attached to anything, so I need to make it stop floating. That looks a lot better. It looks like it's attached to those floor joists. Come up here, we've got light in the hallway, we've got light in the individual rooms. Unfortunately, we have the bleed-through light from this one in that other room. Is what it is. Make sure that's on the dresser. They have a nice place to sit. They can turn to face the view, or they can sit looking into their room. They have a nice place to sit. A nice place to sleep. I've got to work out the exclusive dining room. Let's give them a sort of nice chandelier. That's way too low, so I need to change the snap. Like that. But that's definitely more attractive than... And it doesn't throw any light, which is actually what I wanted. The light in here is actually being thrown by the candles, but it has the appearance of being fairly well lit by that. And then our homeowner here is the guy who runs the place. He's going to have his own digs right here. Let's give him a nice light. For his own room. Now he would have his bedding on his bed. And he definitely... He's got the caps, you know what I mean? He has the caps to be able to use Rob's favorite light. And again, see, that table doesn't exist to the game. Need to run some power over to his shack to the far side here, just so that light gets some power. It's a nice place to sit down in his little hovel. And perhaps a little table by the side for him to have a potted plant or something on. Definitely going to have a dresser in here. And he's going to have some lights. Nothing too bright. Nice little place for him to come in and retreat to after he's done his thing for the day. And we'll give him power conduit right there. And now both his little mushroom lights work. Yay! Okay, so lighting works in here. Definitely works in here. Still need seating in here for the tables. Lighting set? That's not floating, is it? No. Help defend Finch Farm. I think Finch Farm can defend themselves. Sounds like somebody's walking around in here. Ah, she's wandering back and forth doing her thing. For some reason, the steak is right on the table. Way to go, lady. Okay. I am going to save and then sleep. When I wake up... No, you don't need to bark, Lieutenant. Oh, Finch Farm wasn't defended or didn't lose or win. I guess I have time to waste. Okay, so the wiring and such is done for that. So now all I have to do is put some chairs in here. Hey guys, I'm just gonna take care of something right here. Now's a great time for a break. It's coming up on 2 hours that we've been here, so I'm gonna take 3 to 5 minutes, refill your drinks, take care of your needs, and I will be right back. And I am back, everybody. Sorry about that delay. My wife was just coming back with lunch and figured out as she was giving me my food that some of the food was not present. And she wanted to make sure it wasn't mine that was missing. Which it wasn't. It was actually my son-in-law's order that got mistaken. So they're going to fix that right now. Somebody's shooting. Okay, make sure I can sit in all of these chairs. I know that sometimes settlers can sit in chairs I can't sit in, but if I can sit in them, they almost certainly can sit in all of the chairs. That one's an issue. That one is not. That one works. Can't sit in that one. What about this one? It's only two that I can't sit in right now. That's not a bad number. Let's see if just changing the angle a little bit helps. Helps with this one. And this one. There we go. The entire restaurant has chairs that people can sit in. I'm not sure what the name's going to be right now, Easy. As you may remember, I have a tendency of naming things trying to think of a way that I might be able to close some of that off to make it less feeling like you're outside. Although you are definitely going to be outside here, so it's not like it's got a lot of option. I tend to name bars for people who have inspired me, especially if they are no longer with us, such as the Turkey Buzzards Retreat and Sanctuary. So I might follow that guideline here. I am open to suggestions, of course, because everybody has good ideas. Okay. The guards don't have a home yet. I'm going to have at least one guard. If I assign a guard to one of those guard stations up top, he'll assign to all three of the guard posts. But if I assign two guards and assign one up there and then quickly grab the other one and assign him to that, I wonder if that one up there will... No, I'm going to go with one guard for now. I can always add more guard stations at a later date. That's actually a pretty good idea, Easy. That's a very good idea. So let's get us a place for our guard to live. And once he has a home, we'll actually go and obtain ourselves said guard and a bartender and he is not going to be super well to do. Now that's of course not going to snap back on there. How does that look? Looks like it's a little off center. There we go. That looks better, doesn't it? It's only a guardhouse. It's not like he's got to, he's never going to actually be in it for me to feel bad about his lack of high-quality housing. And there we have generic guardhouse housing unit number 1. Of course, I've made this room too small for me to maneuver in. That's just the way we roll, right? You can have a chair. A table. And a dresser. And a candle. Because I'm not heartless. He can have light. Even though he'll never see it, he's got light. I don't like the way that roof looks. That looks a little bit better to me. See what I mean about feeling like I have to put something underneath? I didn't even think twice about it. I just said, oh, something needs to be underneath there. It's just the right amount of crappy. Okay, so he's got a place to live. We need to put the name on the tap house, I assume. And of course, this wall is not flat, but this one is, so... I wish the neon came in different sizes. put that one... there. And then we'll... yeah. Why did it take both? Why did it take both? Because it wasn't connected to anything else? I don't get it. I don't get it. I'll fight my better urge to scream, though. Now I just need some power going over to that side of the building. Tar house. Very welcoming looking place. Ship-faced. I see what you did there. As if any of us had any doubt. There's really not a spot coming from the other direction to put that sign either, so... I mean, you could put it there, but you really don't see it coming down the road. 'Cause if you're coming on the road, you're going to say, oh, I'm going to avoid this car. And there's all this stuff in the way before you get to it. So let us get some people. We need a bartender, a doctor, a security guard, and somebody to sell fishing stuff. That's 4. And then 2 people here is 5 and 6. So I need to send 6 people here. And luckily I have a warehouse full of people. Wow, they're getting slim over there. I'd better make sure I left the beacon on. Their happiness is pretty high. Let's see, you're a ghoul. You want to move. You're going to beachfront property. Oh, you got security guard written all over you. I don't know about you. You look like you'd sell armor to wayward travelers. You definitely look like you could be a bartender. Want to be a bartender? Okay, so we've got a security guard, a fishmonger, we need a doctor. Need a doctor. You wandering over there, what do you look like? Oh, you've got a trustworthy doctor-like face, but you're a provisioner, I can't steal you. You're a provisioner, I can't steal you. You don't look very doctor-like, but maybe I can clean you up. Okay, so the doctor's gonna need doctor clothes. And... nope. He's assigned to that shop. Okay, so I have assigned 5 out of 6, I believe. Did I assign her to anything? No, I did not. Hey, you. Hey, stop trying to walk past me. There. Now we've got a bunch of people headed to Nordhagen Beach.
You hear about that farm run by ghouls? Isn't that something?
Let me go up to sanctuary where I believe I have the most clothing stored. No, I will not be building and powdering settlement recruitment bacon.
Paying off. You showed up just in the nick. Thanks for your help fighting them off.
I was glad to help out.
I can't argue with your timing. Who knows what would have happened to us if you hadn't been here.
Thanks for your help, friend.
You like old stuff, don't you? Don't see the point. That time's long gone.
Damn. Is it time to go already? Axes to grind. Hell, I have a ton of them.
Don't much care for good.
You crazy? You or me? If you ain't been up to see Grey Garden, you should go. Whole place is run by robots.
Crop's been growing pretty good lately.
I want to trade a few things.
Okay.
Hope you ain't one of them synths here to spy on me.
Work to do. Can't talk now.
Just looking to trade a little.
Sure thing.
You hear the news from Abernathy Farm? Her eldest daughter was gunned down by raiders.
My hat goes out to those fucks.
Damn vultures. It's better to just let them take what they want.
I've been talking to you people for over a half hour, and my mic's been muted. I am so sorry. Oh, I am terrible. I am truly terrible. I don't know if I have... Well, I can change my clothes. I can make her a good-looking bartender by giving her my dress, but I don't want to do that, because my dress is armored. I don't have any nice looking clothes to make her a bartender with. Do I have any in inventory here? No.
Word's spreading all over the Commonwealth. The Minutemen are back. They've set up a radio station to coordinate their efforts. Yeah? We'll see how long that lasts. You might not be happy to have them back, but I am.
Oh, great. These people are setting up petty rivalries now. Okay, this guy's gonna guard from right there. Well, I know I have some nicer clothings available for the bartender, and maybe I'll find the other person I sent here if I go up to Sanctuary. Lieutenant, you can relax a minute. I was discussing that the people's attitudes and who looked like what and what they should be wearing, and y'all were not hearing a word I said because I didn't notice the little red light. I'm terrible. I am terrible. Okay. I think that the bartender should wear something nice. So, it needs to be something clean. I have plenty of clean suits. I also have laundered stuff. Institute lab coat. Okay, if I give her a laundered dress, that would be nice. Laundered loungewear. Or I could go a little fancier and go to suspenders and should probably look good in that little suspenders and slacks outfit. Oh, while I'm here, should take a couple of pistols. Actually, let me put one of those back. Take an auto and a regular. I have a carbine with me, so I don't need that. Take a laser rifle. I need a minigun. Oh, Gatling laser. There we go. Hunting rifle. None of them have a full stock on them? Oh well. Stuff to decorate the arm shop with. And then some armor for the armor shop. Gonna do a Brotherhood of Steel uniform. If I have one. I do. Knight's uniform, or I don't know what the difference in these two is. take that. One of those. One of those. One of those. I'll take that as well. That covers the 2 mannequins they have. And a bunch of weapons. I should be good now. Well, I'm hoping that by traveling and coming back, he'll have worked out his pathing. And I figure I can assign beds once everybody's in their assigned jobs. What time of day is it? 6 in the morning. Nobody should be at work except for the guard. Is there a guard up top there? I can't see him up. Yeah, there he is. Being he's already at work, I'm going to assign him to his hovel. Door is open now, so I won't get stuck. He just needed a little bit of help getting his pathing. It'll be interesting to see if he actually walks over to the other one, though.
Okay.
Now that that's assigned... Oh, you
Yeah?
are the woman I wanted to be bartender.
I just want to trade a few things.
Go ahead.
You're getting suspenders and slacks. If I can hit the right button. Take that. Do you really need all that stuff? No, you don't. I can give you something nicer. I have an extra carbine, right? Of course I do. There you go. Now some ammo. Oh, thank you, Easy. I wanted to build something a little taller than I normally go. And I needed a place to house my shopkeepers. So that was the win-win for me. Was getting both of those in the same place. Okay, she's... What did I assign her to do? Okay, you have a job.
Sure.
Okay. So the bartender is assigned the... Oh, she is the... What? I assigned the doctor, so... She is the arms dealer? There. Okay, that one gets that. And because I have a sense of humor, and she gets that. Help if I told it to wear it. You get a minigun or a Gatling laser. That's why I said that. You can have that. And there we go. Yeah, we'll put a shotgun there too. And a pipe pistol. Can't really see anything in here that's for sale though, can you? Did I bring power over to this building? I think I did. Yes, I did, because the armor sign is lit up. How is that missing all the weapons? Okay, so that light isn't really doing it. What about this one? We know that this is going to be bright, right? Let's, that one's not doing it. There you go. One well-lit shop. Feel like people would trust her better if she wasn't in shadow all the time. That works. There we go. You're the shopkeeper, you're the provisioner. The guard's up there. Why is the shopkeeper nowhere near her shop? She is assigned to it, so... I've assigned the bartender, the guard, the doctor, the shopkeeper, and both shopkeepers, and the fish shopkeeper. So that covers the peoples. Let's take a siesta and hope for better weather for the wrap-up. In theory, because I just slept for 24 hours, everybody's going to be at their job because it's already past 8 a.m. So let's hope that works itself out. Doctor's at his job, so I'm going to assume everybody else got to their job on time. Okay, let's go over what we built today. As you know, we built this place out here last time and decided we needed them to have their own housing. So the majority of today was spent putting together housing for the people who work in there. So we came up with the house that they built from the scrap they could get in the area. So, and I took into account the building area out there. So we've got a shop for our arms dealer, and of course, or a house for. And of course, the house for the arms dealer is a little bit nicer than the upstairs one because she has more caps, so she was able to pay people to help her build it up. The person who sells armor, however, has a little bit less of a place of their own, but it is a place of her own. And because we were building tall, we moved our security station to the top of the place, which gives us a commanding view of the approach from Fort Strong, where we know super mutants like to hang out. It also gives us a commanding view of the beach, where if you go out that way, Libertalia is sitting and potential source of raiders. Also gives a good elevation for the turrets to engage anybody who comes and attacks the town. We then came down here and made sure that the guard had his own personal space. It's not much, but he's a simple man. Spends most of his time protecting his fellow settlers anyway. This young lady right here has her own place right next door.
Got it.
That's her business and her home. We then came over to the restaurant and the restaurant's house, and we finished the lighting, put in the chairs, and we finished the bedrooms in the hotel itself. So the 5 cap room, the 10 cap room, and the 15 cap room. Because the bartender does not want to waste her valuable space for the customers, she actually gets a home of her own
Okay.
right next to her business. Then we assigned our doctor to the clinic. He's a nice gentleman. Probably makes more than a fair few caps, so he is going to have the beach bungalow as his own place. Last week we built the restroom and shower trailer. We now have a pretty decent sized community here. We do still have room to expand should the need arise, but as we did not build a beacon, it's not a necessary thing. We can just expand as we need to. During our first week here, we went ahead and built this truck, put the generator in here to provide lighting to the community, so essentially they got the truck working enough to provide power. And of course we built a security station right here to provide protection from the most likely avenue of approach, which is across the bridge. It's not just the most likely avenue of trade coming here, it's also the most likely avenue of danger. And of course, everybody remembers our original settlers live in this shack that you can do almost nothing with. Even if, because I have scrap everything and I can actually move a lot of these things in here, even if I were to get rid of them, they would always want to be in that house for some reason. And I can't assign the boy to anything else. So I'm kind of stuck with him. As you might recall, our first moments here, there was an attack, and we lost the original male settler that I keep referring to as her husband. But he is staying with us in body, if not in spirit. He's right here. And for whatever reason, he is not disappearing, so he is going to stay there because I have nothing better to do than to wait for her to bury him herself. So that is the current state of the Nordhagen Beach Village and Resort. There is room for expansion, as I said. Well, right here between the bungalow and the bar and restaurant, there's room for housing. There's room for housing down near the guard's house, and if the residents decide to clean up that trash pile, there's that central area that could be used to create new housing. I think it is coming together very nicely, Groucho. The entire place has a united feel to it, which is, of course, they scrapped everything to get this place together. The original structure on the beach was probably some boathouse for, well, not a literal boathouse, but a house used by some guy who did minor fishing out here on his little rowboat, and they repurposed it. But now that the Minutemen are helping them build up, they have one heck of a setup going. It looks to me like he is not going to wander off that security tower. which is a pity because I really, really hoped he would. So I'll probably have to go and get another guard to assign specifically to that guard station, which means that there's going to be at least one more guardhouse next week, and perhaps we'll clean out that trash area in the center and build a couple of more houses there. But as for today, I think that wraps it up. So I would like to thank each and every one of you for coming by today, spending your time with me today, the up to 3.5 hours, even the half hour where I spoke about everything that you never heard. I hope that your days are progressing nicely. I know that several of you are European. I hope that your nights are progressing nicely. I hope you're all well. I hope your families are well. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your families. And I will see you next time. Until then, take care.